I thought we could talk about the difference between learner and input, two strategic thinking themes that are often associated very close together in somebody's top 10. Both these themes are interested in the acquisition of knowledge, but the type of knowledge they're after is quite different. Let's start first with learner. As the name suggests, it is interested in acquiring knowledge that refers to the method of how one acquires a skill. So, learner is interested in the acquisition of skills, and that's where its curiosity lies. It wants to understand how one can do something. How do you cook? How do you write? How do you paint? And so the delight with somebody who is dominant in learner lies in the process of learning how to do something. You will find that once they've learnt it is literally more boring practicing it than it was acquiring it, which is why they have insatiable desire to acquire the next load of skills. Input, on the other hand, is quite different. It wants to acquire knowledge for knowledge's sake. The idea is that it is really a reservoir that can be tapped in at any stage for any reason. Depending on the signature themes that sit around it will obviously depend on that reason. But input, to a large extent, is an ability to catalog large quantities of information without losing any bit of it. So you could almost think of it as discipline to the mind, because input is really just formatting information in a particular way. How it formats that information is largely dependent, as I say, by the other signature themes, but it's going to retain that information. And the idea is at any point in time, you need to refer to that information. It is readily available, which is why people dominant with input often have close to a photographic memory, or at least they have an exceptional memory. So knowledge, as I say, is about the acquisition of knowledge. So it's whether these are facts, whether these are stories, doesn't really matter. It's the acquisition of knowledge and the retention of that knowledge through structuring it in a certain way that it can be retrieved. So input largely have a very good ability to structure information. Learner, as I've said, is about the acquisition of the skills. So when you have the two together, learner and input, then you'll probably commonly find somebody very interested in the process of education, which is teaching people skills by giving them pieces of information. And it shouldn't surprise you that a large number of people in secondary and tertiary education have learner and input dominant. I hope that helps a bit. I will unpack in the theme dynamics videos that will be on Talent at Titan shortly a little bit more about the dynamics of what happens when you have other signature themes around it. So for now, I hope that helps you understand the difference between the two themes.